you were very patient, and the heavens started to open up as the race unfolded, and you could see pretty much at the 500 you were going to be right in the finish if the run had come, and you didn't have to go around the horse and just kept sneaking up on the pegs, and as you've done in the past, a great drive and well done.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. As you say, it looked his race on paper tonight. If he was following our 40 Thieves, who looked the early leader, he'd been racing really well in recent MOs, just without much luck. But, when the first emergency gained a start, I thought it was going to make my task very hard. And I said to Hodgie before the race, if he gets the runs, he'll be right there. But, sometimes when you're 3-4 fence, it can be hard. But, this track's one track, the fence is the place to be. And we were fortunate enough those runs come, and the horse was good enough to deliver.
No, fantastic effort on your behalf. Well done to Grant Hodges and the owner Steve, and obviously Steve's been a great supporter of Grant, and as we know, Grant spent a lot of his years here in Victoria, went over to Tasmania, and he's made his way back with a few horses, and they first came across, and this one was one bloke that was going really well, but just things just weren't panning out, and as we know, through experience tells us, you can have a very good MO horse, but it might take a few months before you win an MO, and some horses can get the right draw and go bang, bang in a matter of a few weeks.
Yeah, too right, Rob. Grant and Aaron are doing a great job with their small team they've got over here at the moment. And as you say, this horse has been a horse that's been knocking on the door to win an MO for a very long time, Went terrific last week when I went via the pie stand, and didn't have much luck in the run. So, he's deserved to win an MO, and Grady got his chance tonight.
You're driving well, the horses are running well, and you must be feeling on top of the world, even to the point you haven't taken any holidays.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. It's been a pretty magic 12 months. Been fortunate enough to drive some really nice horses and, get some really good opportunities from some great stables. So, hopefully we can keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, well, you won't be keeping it rolling tonight because you're finished for tonight, 2 for 2, a 100% record with both horses. And this horse here going really well, got the gate speed and seemed to be travelling well in front. They got a little bit close to it to finish, but looking at the horse, it's come back in a pretty good order.
Yeah, Rob, she always tends to knock off that last 50 if she hasn't got a hell of a lot to race, but, she was fortunate enough to lead tonight and get a great run in transit. Once you get away with 32 first quarter around here, you're usually going to be hard to catch, and, but still to her credit to get home in 28, for a TMO, it's a pretty fast last quarter, but as I said, she was lucky enough to get a good run in front, not much pressure, and she was good enough to get the job done.
Great form, terrific win last start, and even more impressive tonight, James. Well done, and I'm sure he would have given you a great feel, and just looking at him, earplugs still in, so nice win.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I really rate this horse. I think he's got a massive future. Dylan's done a great job with him, I've driven him 3 times, I've run second and won twice, I just love him.
Yeah, well, he's only had the 15, that was his 16th start, 4 wins and 7 placings, so he certainly now as a 5-year-old, he hasn't been spent too much when it comes to mileage, and certainly on the strength of his win tonight, it was a good quality field. He's showing plenty of stamina about the way he's going about his business, added some speed, and hopefully bigger and better things to come by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I think he's been a very unlucky horse early on, just bad draws, bad runs, having no luck, but this time in he's grown and he's going to go a long way.
Nathan, well done to you, and well done to the horse and to the Graham family and everyone else involved, Graham Dalton with Son of Sunoco after winning tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie. He's quite a frustrating horse at the best of times, and he's a very difficult horse to drive, and he got lucky today and luck went his way, but he did put the rod in on the wall, like Craig said last week. The last start he was most unlucky, but yeah, he's one that you can never get too confident with, that's for sure. It's
amazing, isn't it? He's an 8-year-old. He's had 81 starts prior to tonight. You'd think at some stage he'd start to relax.
Yeah, he makes me so angry sometimes. I don't even want to take a whip because I'll do me nana with him. But yeah, he should know better by now. But he's done a great job, and everyone that's been involved with him throughout his career have done a great job, because I've only just sort of started team up with him, and I know how frustrating he can be. So I can just understand how frustrated they get.
What a great performance. Tough, relentless, never gave up. If there was ever any doubt about the horse, he would have silenced his critics tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly, I come out pretty good, but there was so many that had good speed, and I was following Gavin. I had to work pretty hard to get to the death, and I thought, oh well, we'll see how we go tonight. And he just kept coming. He tried really hard. He went really well, and I'm really proud of him tonight.
I know you've obviously always had a big opinion of the horse. He's certainly been impressive to date. Did he exceed your opinion tonight?
He did, yeah, that's right. He sort of didn't have any favours, and you look at the board, all 28 ones. It's not that common you see that, and to do all the work and be able to still fight on, it's pretty impressive.
Does he have the qualities to win a Victoria Cup?
He has the ability. The manners is always a bit of a question, but tonight he was really good. He certainly was really good in that aspect tonight, and hopefully he keeps that up, and he gets a chance at it.
Well done to you, and well done to the horse.
No, look, I love this little horse. He's, as you said, nothing special, but he's a little opportunist, and when the opportunity presents, you've got to be good enough, and he was. He was,
and he's been going well. He's a very consistent horse. He doesn't really know how to run a bad race.
No, look, as I said, I love him. His last start was very good. He ran third, but top of the straight, he locked wheels, and it was, fast sectionals, the closing sectionals. I thought he went really good. As you said, when the pole horse galloped, well, that brought a lot of horses into the race that probably wouldn't have been, and we were able to capitalise.
His class just prevailed. He was just too good.
Yeah, well, things worked out really well. The speed was on all the way, and he just sat back not doing any work and just had to round him up, and he ran past him and ran to the line really strong, and, give him his confidence back so he can tackle, better ones again if they want to go that way. But, he's been a great old horse.
He certainly has. It was a very solid run race, 43.5 lead time. It certainly allowed horses to wind up back in the field, and he would have loved that early tempo.
Yeah, he did. He was just flopping along out the back, and, he was just getting strong when they were starting to get tired.
Well done. Another great performance. She's not going backwards. Every time she steps out, there's a bigger challenge that she's confronted with, and each time she steps up even further.
Yeah, that's right. She certainly never disappoints when she goes to the races. At home, she's some weekdays a bit casual, but you're never too worried, because when she goes to the races, she puts her best foot forward and does her best. And she was. She did it pretty tough tonight, but I needed to hit out a little bit, so it was, good.
Tell us, last 100 metres, how did she feel? Did you feel like there was still more to offer?
Look, she was probably flat in the line, but I just waved the whip at her a couple of times, didn't pull the plugs or the pull downs, so there's probably a bit more there. But, she was fairly flat out, and the horse on my back, it does go really well, that horse. I knew it would be coming along the sprint lane, so couldn't relax there for too long. Yeah,
no, I spoke to Greg Norman straight after the race. He was all smiles, and he was quite happy running second too, that's for sure. And what's the plan now? We're second half of September, Victoria Cup, middle of October. What's the agenda for this girl?
Yeah, look, it's 3 weeks to the Victoria Cup, so it's... I don't know that she'd need another run. She's sort of spaced her runs, and each time she's stepped up good first up from either 2 or 3 weeks. So, it's tricky. I'll have a look, but she may not step out again.
Well done, Mark. Good effort. This little horse has been going well, and nice to see it breaking through for a win here at Melton.
Yeah, no, thanks, Rob. Yeah, no, he's racing really well. You know, he's been placed well this time in, but you know, it really helped with a few of the scratch things out, and he got a good draw, and you know, and he just proved it tonight.
His first up run, he didn't have much luck. He was held up, and I've sort of been following him pretty much all the way through. And one thing that's been very noticeable over the last month, he's been racing a lot stronger and really been able to sustain a lot more pressure than what probably earlier on in its campaign, and it's good to see that.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, like I think he's strengthened up a little bit. I've only driven him a few times, but every time I drive him, he gets a little bit better each time, which is good. And you know, Barry has placed him well throughout his career. You know, and he's it was good to get down here tonight and get a good draw and win a race.
Well done. He's been a bit of a challenge from time to time, but the race panning out really well for you. You worked into the race nicely out 3 wide. He looked a real strong chance. The leader kicked, which made you have to work a little bit harder, but you got there finally.
Yeah, it's right. He certainly went away nicely, which is sometimes his downfall. And then there's a bit of speed early, but that helped him come out. Had to come, but not terribly early. But the leader did kick down the back, and he was running, full of running, and I was flat turning for home. But Bob just put his head down, and he tried well tonight and trotted good.